Parent meetings can be tricky. They require considerable expertise as there can be a lot of emotion involved. Parents have so much of themselves invested in their children. To help even challenging meetings run smoothly, it really helps to have some basic ground rules to guide your behaviour and to stop you from being reactive to parent agendas and moods, yours as well as theirs. Here are simple ground rules that will help you run effective, conflict-free meetings. Number 1, work from the best interests of the child. The child's best interests are often lost when there's conflict between school and family, and it's replaced by winning the day, which is largely about ego. So as a rule of thumb, when you're working with parents, always keep the best interests of the child in mind. 2, remember that parents won't always follow your rules. Teachers by nature are rule-oriented, procedural people. Education generally demands adherence to policy and procedures. Parents aren't necessarily bound by adherence to the same rules of conduct and behaviour as you. So be alert to that, but don't be alarmed, as someone famous once said. Number 3, separate your person from your position before you meet with parents. Your relationship with a parent is first and foremost a professional rather than a personal relationship. That means you stick to professional standards, you use language which is appropriate, and you behave like a professional. Aim for effectiveness when working with parents rather than being liked. Number 4, match the time, the place, and format to the requirements of the meeting. An informal meeting with a parent at drop-off time may be ideal to give some good news about a child's learning breakthrough. However, it's probably not the time or the place to talk about a child's difficult behaviour. Better that that type of conversation occurs during an arranged meeting. That may mean that you politely invite the parent to meet you at a more convenient time so that you can fully attend to the problem or the situation at hand. Getting the match right is really important. Ground rule number 5. Prepare yourself with the facts, the figures, and the documentation before the meeting. It's not always possible to have everything you want at your fingertips before a meeting, but do your best to produce the documentation to support you if the conversations become difficult. The best way to get around parent denial is to back up what you are talking about with samples, documentation, or correct information. Number 6, find out what the parent knows. Whether you or a parent calls a meeting, let the parent fill you in on what he or she knows about a situation before you give your take on it. Get the parent's viewpoint first. That'll stand you in good stead when you're working with them and giving them advice. Ground rule number 7. Look for the educative moments in meetings. There are many times in meetings and other interactions with parents you can teach them about children in general, or what good teaching and learning practice is, or teach them about some of the school protocols and procedures. Be on the lookout for educative moments with parents, just like you're on the lookout for educative moments with kids. Ground rule number 8. Make the meeting the best experience possible for parents. Regardless of what you're meeting about, work as hard as you possibly can to make the meeting process an enjoyable one and also a professional one. Parents tell us that they need to feel valued and listened to during meetings and conferences. Of course, that's the way of teaching professionals. Will parents leave your meeting saying that that was an enjoyable experience? Will they leave feeling listened to and valued? Will they tell others of the professional way that they were treated? You know, a good experience travels fast, but a bad experience travels lightning fast and wide. Ground rule number 9. Remember, you can't be a free agent for a parent. There are times when parents may want you to go way past what's reasonable for their child. While special circumstances require specialised responses, you can't operate outside normal protocols and procedures. You represent a school that represents a system. Stay within those bounds and you'll be safe. And lastly, be careful what you promise. In the interest of creating good feelings in a meeting, it's easy to promise more than you can deliver in the classroom, playground, or learning centre. As a rule of thumb, only promise the things that you can deliver and make sure you do as you say you will. And as much as humanly practical, try to have parents leaving a meeting with a feeling that they've been listened to, that you value their contribution to their child's education, and with feelings of hope, that there are solutions to problems, there are strategies that they can put into place that will improve situations, whether learning, behavioural or social.